Hi friends, welcome to my channel. This is Mughal Dharma. Thanks for clicking on this video. Friends, in this video, we're going to talk about one important thing that will improve your English language, that will develop your English speaking skill. Friends, before we dive into the video, I have a small request. Please subscribe this channel, like this video and hit the bell icon and share this video with your friends and your loved ones. Now let's get started. Friends, how are you doing? I think you are doing well. Many of us want to speak English clearly and confidently. That's why we tend to read a lot, we tend to watch many videos, and we like to listen to music, we like to listen to podcast in English, and we love to read books, magazines and novels and etc. We do a lot of things in English language in order to develop our speaking skill. We learn grammar, we learn tenses, we improve our vocabulary, we focus on this kind of aspects in English language. Even though we have done that kind of stuff in English language, when it comes to speaking English, we are unable to speak. We can't speak English clearly. We cannot speak English confidently. So why? Because we focus on writing, we focus on listening, we focus on reading, but we don't focus on speaking. And then the most important thing is thinking in English. Thinking in English is very important in order to build English language. If you want to develop your speaking skill, if you want to speak English clearly and confidently, if you want to speak English effectively, if you want to speak English clearly and confidently, friends, you have to think in English. We have to think in English to English. Many of us, we don't think in English. Many of us, we don't focus on thinking in English so that we are unable to speaking English. Many of us, we focus on grammar, we focus on tenses, we focus on English punctuations, we focus on lots of rules and regulations, but we don't focus on thinking in English, which is very important in communication, which is very crucial to speak English clearly. So friends, if you really want to develop English language, if you really want to develop your communication, if you really want to speak English clearly and confidently, hereafter have to start thinking in English. Speaking English is a psychological process. So if you want to speak English clearly, confidently, so you have to train your brain to think in English. If you train your brain to think in English, it will get addicted to think in English. When it gets addicted to think in English, then you will see results slowly. In the beginning, you face difficulties, you face some challenges, you face some problems to think in English. Yes, everyone should go through that stage. So you also should go through that stage. This is the preparation time to become best version of ourselves. Dear friends, if you want to develop English language, if you want to speak English clearly, if you want to speak English confidently in English language, if you want to speak English clearly, so now hereafter you have to start thinking in English. Many of us, we don't think in English so that we don't have enough ideas. We don't have enough phrases and sentences in English. We don't have enough vocabulary so that we are unable to speak English well. If you want to communicate with others, so hereafter you have to think in English. You have to think English to English. Generally, when we think about our life, when we think about our emotions and feelings, we generally use our mother tongue, we generally use our native language to think about our emotions, about our feelings, about our life, so that we have full of ideas, we have full of sentences and phrases in our mother tongue, in our native language, so that we are able to speak our mother tongue fluently, so that we are able to speak our native language clearly and confidently. So if you want to speak English like your mother tongue, this is a very important thing in order to speak English well. So friends, if you want to develop your English language, if you want to speak English clearly, confidently, if you want to speak English efficiently, if you want to speak English precisely, you have to think in English. Train your brain to think in English. In the beginning, you face difficulties, but don't give up. Don't quit. Don't stop. Keep doing it. Keep thinking in English. You have to think in English in order to build English language. Friends, hereafter, start thinking in English. In the beginning, we face difficulties, we face challenges, we face many hurdles. So that is where we have to keep going. So how to think in English language? Many of us, when we think in our mother tongue, we get a lot of phrases, we get a lot of vocabulary, so that we are able to express our views and perspectives clearly in our mother tongue, because we always use our mother tongue, we always use our native language to think, so that we are able to speak a lot. So hereafter, if you want to develop English language, you have to develop thinking skill in English language. You have to think English to English. You have to do that for 21 days. If we do any work for 21 days, it becomes our habit. If we do any work or any task for 21 days, it becomes our habit. So once it becomes our habit, then we don't need to force ourselves to do that. Our brain, our body supports us to do that work, to do that task. So once your brain gets addicted to that work, then it starts working, it starts functioning, so that once it becomes your habit, you don't need to force your brain to think in English. The real problem is you have to force your brain to think in English. Once it becomes your habit, you don't need to force it, because your brain gets addicted to that habit, then it will work automatically. So we have to train our brain to do like that. We have to train our brain to think in English naturally. So in the beginning, it's very hard. But even though you feel nervous, if you keep doing that, then you will see progress, you will see results. I think you might have seen many speakers who speak English fluently, who have proficiency in English language, who speak English clearly and confidently. Friends, they have a lot of ideas, they have a lot of phrases and sentences, they have vocabulary, and then they think English to English. If you think in English, you have active vocabulary. If you don't think in English, you have passive vocabulary. Yes, you have a lot of vocabulary, but when it's come to speaking in English, you don't get proper words, you don't get proper sentences, you don't get proper phrases in order to express your views and thoughts. So that is where it gets stuck. That is where you take pauses to think in English. So once you make a habit to think in English, once you start thinking in English, then your passive vocabulary turns into active vocabulary. You start using your phrases and sentences. Then when you want to speak in English, then you get lot of ideas, lot of phrases, and lot of vocabulary. Then you will speak English naturally. You will speak English automatically. So that is what we have to do in order to speak English well. Many speakers, they think in English. Many anchors, many great personalities, they think in English, so that they have full of ideas, they have full of phrases and sentences, and they have active vocabulary. So when they want to speak in English, they speak spontaneously, they speak naturally. If you want to speak like that, then you have to start thinking in English. If you start thinking in English, it develops English language. It builds English language. But it takes time, it takes practice, it takes efforts. Dear friends, be consistent in the beginning. You have to keep doing for 6 months, at least 6 months. So if you really want to speak English well, you have to follow this method. If you don't think in English, you don't speak well, you don't express well, you don't communicate well, you don't develop English language, you don't build English language properly. So that if we have great intention to speak English, if we have great desire to speak English, you have to think in English. If you keep doing that for 6 months, you will see tremendous results. You will see good results. You will speak English well. You will automatically start speaking in English. That is how we can build English language. That is how we can improve our English language. That's it, friends. Thanks for watching this video till now. I hope you have learned something from this video. Friends, I would like to conclude this video with a quote. Progress doesn't need speed, it needs consistency. Progress doesn't need speed, it needs consistency. Friends, if you want progress, if you want results, so don't be hurry, don't be rush, be patient and be consistent. That's it, friends. I would like to see you in the next video. Bye and happy learning.